Yeah, I met Vicky 20 years ago, actually, at Royal Holloway University, where they started as students. So yeah, I just want to say a few words to thank her today for the impact she's had on my life and beyond in that time. Yeah, it's been, I mean, we shared some great time seeing what God did in people's lives over our time there, to start with. Seeing lots of people meet Jesus, particularly in our second year, as we ran that Alpha course. And for me, I mean, it's obviously the church you planted after that that is the reason we're here. And you stayed on after that, and I was in Bristol. Yeah, there's partly my story there. When I had pneumonia over in Bristol back in 2005, and I was thinking, you know, what am I doing here? I'm not really making a big difference. And I thought, well, there's Vicky, who just started a church a couple of years ago at that time. And you've got a community going here, and Rachel and I said, yeah, we want to be a part of a community that's meeting together, fellowship day in, day out throughout the week. So it was that time, 2006, we came over to visit the journey, and then we moved here later that year to be a part of what you're doing. And for a lot of us here, you're one of the reasons why we came here, to be a part of this church, and you've made a difference in our lives and blessed us. As we were worshipping just now, where Peter was playing with this tree and saying, that's a lovely tree. And it just, that reminded me, that's what I want to say. Jesus spoke of the kingdom of heaven being like a tiny seed that grows into this massive tree, where even the birds of the air come to shelter. And that's a big part of what you've done with this church as the journey. You've taken the seed and planted it and seen it grow. And you can look around us now at all of these people here, part of this big tree that's making a difference in the community. And it even goes beyond that, because some of the people here today are not part of the journey, but they've gone the seeds to other churches, even in other countries, and are making a difference. And the big part of that is because of what you've done here, faithfully planting the seed and watering this tree. So I just want to finish by praying that as you go from us here, you will do the same again, as you've done many times in your life. Planting a new seed, watering a new small plant or tree, seeing it grow, impacting so many people's lives as you move on. Yeah. Thank you.
Luke? No? Yeah.
First of all, before I get on to Vicky, can I thank everybody who prayed for my daughter that we nearly lost last week when she was having a baby. And I want to thank you because your prayers were answered and she's now doing fine. Right. I want to thank you, Vicky, for welcoming to your church and your community, because you showed me that I can be a Christian and I don't have to follow this straight and narrow path, and that I can support people that perhaps some Christians wouldn't. And you told me that was all right, so thank you for that. And all that you've done behind the scenes for me and my family. I've got a letter dictated to me from Holly. Oh, yes. Right. First of all, Vicky, thank you for being a good master. Thank you for doing the party boat. That's one of the highlights of our life so far, the party boat. You're going to be in my dreams, and I'm going to miss Tracy. All right, love. Love, Holly May.
Luke? Well, I think it goes without saying that Vicky has been an amazing leader of the journey. And in thinking of a tribute for her, I could highlight the fact that she's so patient, that she's so level, that she's full of the Spirit, she has such a heart for community. But I think the thing which came to mind, the picture that I had, I think while driving somewhere at some point, was, I remember this film called Piglet's Big Movie. And if you don't know it, it's about the story of, it's in the Winnie the Pooh universe, and Piglet is this character who everyone, well, I mean, yeah, that was kind of the out yet. He's part of this story of every person, and he's part of a series of adventures, and it's a story about the other characters discovering, wow, how important Piglet was, and how big a part he kind of played in various aspects of their lives. And I think I felt actually that was like Vicky in the sense that it was very difficult to choose a specific story because she's pretty much been doing life with us, that she's been part of a lot of different stories that have kind of made an impact in leading the journey to where it is and leading us individually to grow into the people that we've become. I guess just as an instance of that in my life, well, the fact I'm here at all is testament to Vicky, really, because not only did she set up the journey, she invited me to the first journey service, which was 14 years ago or something like that, maybe 15? 14. But which, I say, at the time I didn't really have any community of people my age group. I was also terrified of girls because I went to an all-boys school and didn't attract them regularly. But I think more importantly, I went away from the journey. I went to a different church and things in my life didn't really pan out how I'd have liked to. And I think Vicky played a really key role in me coming back to the journey, finding community, and ultimately the Holy Spirit really working in my life and transforming me. And it was this chance meeting. I had to move home with my parents. I was in a really broken place. So I'd been married and it was falling apart. And I was thinking, oh God, what's going on? Are you even there? And I think Vicky, felt prompted. I think she messaged my mum. And this is the point I would have never gone back to the journey because I felt really a lot of shame at that point. And she messaged my mum, and my mum explained what happened, and then Vicky invited me to Jonathan's along with Tom, and I think it was just this really nice lunch where there was no judgment. They just really cared about me, really, and they kind of invited me along, and that I say led to this incredible journey, and I've grown so much as a person from that. So yeah, I just want to thank you, Vicky, for being part of our lives, for all the small things and the large things, like being our housemate, being our first marriage home with Diana, for marrying us. And yeah, I just want to pray that, God, that you would use Vicky in other people's lives as well as she goes to Durham. Just your Holy Spirit would stay with her and impact the communities that she's a part of. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, Luke. Andy.
I haven't actually prepared anything here, but I'll wing it. This is your life, Vicky. So I think I must have first met you in my first year when you were working for Fusion, yeah. Not that I mean, my uni experience was, I kind of didn't really do church as a student, but when I first came to the journey, which was actually the start of the second year of the journey, because I'd been working in London for the first year, I wasn't in a good place, and being brought up as a Christian, my default place to go to was church, because kind of that's what I knew, that's what I'd grown up with. And in the journey, I just found somewhere that I felt like was home. I bet you want to say something. And this isn't about me, so I'm not going to talk about my life, but if I'd known back then where I'd be now, I don't think I would have believed it. And that's all down to God, but it's also, Vicky played her part in that. I think if I had to pick out one characteristic of Vicky that I feel has been the biggest influence on me, it's her encouragement, and that comes from her courage that she has herself. The courage to step out and plant a church, the courage that she's now taking this next step to go into this next phase of life, and just in everything that I've done, Vicky has always been, supporting me, encouraging me, And I think that's true of so many people that have been part of the community, that they can say that whatever they've been going through, Vicky's always been there, cheering them on, giving them encouragement, giving them words that build them up and really make them feel like they can do it. And clearly that comes from God, and that's something that's so precious. And I had a verse which I'll try and get my and I felt, yeah, God really wants to build that courage in you in this next phase as well. And I felt like God wanted me to share when Moses summons Joshua. He says, it's in Deuteronomy 31. Then Moses summoned Joshua and said to him in the presence of all Israel, "Be strong and courageous, for you must go with this people into the land that the Lord swore their ancestors to give them. And you must divide it among them as their inheritance. If the Lord himself goes before you and will be with you, he will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged." And I feel that's God's message for you, but it's also been something you've instilled in me, and I'm sure in so many others. So yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Is that alright?
We can have 2 shores in a row.
Is that alright?
That's good.
Well, you've got 4 actually.
That's
the price of 2. So much could be said about the impact Vicky's had on our lives. If I could just try and sum it up, I think that it's not just about what Vicky does, but who she is. The way she lives her life, and the way that she flows in ministry. Vicky is a woman of the Word, and that's not just her excellent teaching, but it's in her everyday walk. Her eyes view all of life through the lens of Scripture, and her heart is filled with the richness of the Bible. I think she's a woman of grace. When you meet Vicky, you feel that she's someone who's soaked in grace. She soaks in grace, and that pours out of her, and it flows into our lives. She understands human spiritual development in a very powerful way, and because she walks in that understanding, she's able to call out strengths, like Andy said. She's able to recognise gifts and guide us, facilitate our growth as people, as Christians. And she does that with truth and grace. She has that ability to balance those things. I think Vicky doesn't just fulfill a pastoral role, but she has a deep compassion for people and a real concern for who you are, and that draws you to her, and it keeps you close to her in a very warm embrace, no matter how far away you are in physical terms. I first met Vicky over 10 years ago as a student, and we've not always been in this village, but we've always felt very close to it, Andy and I. So thank you. She's been a spiritual mother to me, and I know for so many of you, so thank you. Just keep on being who you are.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Andy. Really good. Catherine.
Well, I was trying to think of a story to share, but how do you sum up 14 years of friendship with one story? I couldn't do it. I was just thinking of so many fun, lovely memories that we had together. I remember the day I met Vicky at 75 Harvest Road. I remember she was wearing these pink fluffy slippers. I remember the talk that you gave, and since then you've been my friend, my mentor, and just somebody who's been so encouraging to me. We've lived together, we've gone on holiday together, we've drunk many cocktails together. But yeah, what I love about Vicky is just that she's so for people, that she brings out the best in people, encourages you to be the best version of yourself. And the things that you've encouraged me to do over the years have just been led to really wonderful things, like going to Berlin, doing the big year, getting together with Matt. Yeah. So yeah, just thank thank you for the last 14 years. And yeah, you've been a constant presence for me and for Matt, just in the good times and the bad. And yeah, we're going to miss you a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, equally, it's very difficult to sum up 14 years in a couple of minutes speech. Yeah, in our time together, you've been a really big part of my life, and it's hard to really put into words what you and your friendship means to me, really. So I'll just share a few little brief highlights along the way, little stories. So first of course, I don't think I would be a Christian if I wasn't for Vicky. Thank you for starting the journey. So I don't think, I would have become Christian if the journey hadn't existed. And you were even there right on the day when I became a Christian. You prayed for me and shared a Bible verse with me and encouraged me, and that was a big part of me making that decision. So thank you for being such an integral part of that, the best decisions that I ever made. Thank you for that. We also went on a mission trip to China. It was my first year of the journey, and that was a really significant trip for me in my journey with God, and it really it kind of changed the way that I see the world, the way that I see God, and you really encouraged me during that time to be brave and step out and sharing my story, so thank you for that. And I remember one night where we came back from a church meeting and we were rather full of the joys of the Holy Spirit, and we were jumping up and down and laughing hysterically, and I think all the Chinese people at the hotel thought we were completely balmy, so we weren't far wrong there. I remember you're the first person I invited to my house as a student when I was 18, and I had absolutely no idea how to put on lunch for someone, so I literally put out this massive spread that was enough for about 10 people. And he was so lovely and gracious about it, and I realised afterwards how ridiculous it was. But it was good fun. I also remember that when I was 18, I thought that Vicky was very old at the age of 24, and I was genuinely nervous about inviting her to Catherine's 19th birthday party. And I actually asked her, would you like to come, Vicky? You used to young people's parties. She's loved reminding people of ever since. Fast forward about 10 years, and you're a big part of Luke and I getting together, and of course you were there when you married us, so that was pretty cool. Thank you for that, and for being a big part of our special day. And so we also lived with you just after we got married, and also for the past 7 months. That's been a lot of fun, and I hope that we've been respectful. Yeah. There's so many stories, I could just bang on and on, but I'll stop there. But I'd just like to finish up by sharing a few things that I really love and admire about you, Vicky. I love your unwavering passion for God and your faith in Him, and how you just continually just pursue Him and pursue sort of personal development, and that's just really constantly inspiring to me. Your very naughty sense of humour and your laugh, which I'm sure we're all familiar with. Your generosity, you're an amazing, generous, kind, loving person, just so full of grace, and just, always being generous. And there's so many ways you've been generous to us over the years, and just thank you so much for that. And your encouragement and support over the years, countless times that you've prayed for me, encouraged me, supported me, had good old chats. And it would be a person I am today without you, so thank you for always believing in me and for valuing me and encouraging me. I know that you'll be very, very missed, and I'm very sad to see you go, so thank you for everything you've done for us.
It's going to be very brief because I hate this whole thing, and I'm slightly concerned I'm going to cry, so I'm just going to speak fast. I wasn't going to speak at all, and just write a really cringe card, but I then annoyingly felt really prompted this whole week to actually honour you publicly, and so probably very incoherently, that's now what I'm going to do. I think obviously I've only been around for the past 5 years of the Danny's history, but I think it's impossible to spend any amount of time as part of it and not really be just completely in awe of how much you dedicate yourself to it and how much you invest everything that you are into it. I think, as like people have already said, like you have such a gift in the way that you invest in people. You make them feel like really safe and secure and challenged in a good way. And it just comes across so effortlessly, but I know that it must involve so much like personal sacrifice, but it's amazing how well you do it. Christ-like, some might say. Personally, I'm also incredibly grateful for the way that you've invested, Christian buzzword, and have spoken into my life for the past 5 years, which I hope you did already know, but if you don't, there you go. The way you've had almost limitless patience with me as I've recounted millennial dramas 100+ times, both verbally, last time my face behind a pillow, and over text, which is obviously my preferred form of communication. But yeah, that's just been really invaluable to me for the past 5 years. The fact that you basically let me move into the living room like 3 times, and that you let that happen irrespective of what time of the night I came back. I'm sure that wasn't like the easiest of living arrangements, so I really appreciate it. Letting me adopt your African dress as my nightdress. And by once humouring me and standing in the kitchen so I could text you from the living room without having to look at you while I told you something I didn't want to say to your face. So they've been massively helpful things that I really appreciate of. And I feel very mothered, as you're obviously my adopted mother in many ways. I will obviously miss you a lot over this next season of your life. As you're literally moving as far away as possible in England, and I'm still slightly resentful that you're not moving to Bristol, but I'll let that go. Also, not sure how you're going to watch Bridget Jones with, so I hope that weighs heavily on you as you move on. But I do think like it's really obviously a good thing that you're moving on to do this. I think it is what you're really called to, and I think it will also be like a real time where you like reap some of the rewards that you've sown here, which is really cringy, and I tried to think of another way to say it, but I couldn't. So I think obviously the journey here, you see that with stuff like the Hub and like the Queen's Award, and all things that you can see like that you and other people obviously put into, that you now see like the rewards of that. But I think also it'll be sort of a time in your life where you see that really personally, where God like really honours you for your unwavering commitment to Him. And obviously that's something I'm really hopeful for you, and I do believe will happen. So yeah, in summary, you're okay as a friend, church leader, and just overall person. So yeah, I'm incredibly grateful for who you are and what you've done, and what you'll have to continue to do, because I will still rely on you even though you're not here. But yeah.
And we've actually written it into Pete's contract to watch Bridget Jones with you, so that was a non-negotiable apparently. Emily.
Sorry, this is very unofficial.
Sorry?
Me just talking lots. It's a lot.
So yeah, obviously, like we said earlier, there's a lot of people not here today, and a lot of people are missing, and people have just been students as well, which is prominent. But yeah, the kind of recent batch, I guess, of students, like it's just been such a you've been such a massive impact to us in this church. It's just been like church is supposed to kind of be your home away from home at uni, and to the point that loads of people have actually moved here after uni. Like that's how great a community you create within this church, and it literally is like not spare family, but like extended family, I guess. Like this church is just such a mass, like, or even the past students. Like I'd say, most of the journey is made up of past and present students, and it creates an amazing feel, and it means it's hard to comprehend like how much this means to people, and it impacts people that aren't even within the church, that kind of come past or interact with people within the church. Like it's such a beam of light within this community, and like you're such a key part of that, and for you to kind of pass on the baton. Like, you're still going to be such a key part of this, and you're not going to be forgotten. We're going to be like, oh, hey, who was that ginger girl? Like, she used to be around. Like, you're still going to be such a massive part of this. You'll have like a plaque and stuff. It'd be great. So yeah, so thank you for what you've created and what will continue to flourish under Pete's guidance. So thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say a few little words. I hadn't told Tom where I was going to, but I can't think of not to say something to my lovely friends. Yeah, so this wasn't a plan to be here, but hey, we're here, and it's really special that we get to say thank you to you on this day for everything that you've done for us and how much of a lovely friend you are. And just because a few people have said about their first meetings with Vicky, I was also there that day with Luke and Tom and others, the first meeting of the journey at Harvest Road. And I remember walking in, and I can still picture Vicky with her gorgeous red hair and her like turquoise jumper, you know, the light turquoise jumper, this beautiful vision. I remember my first chat with you, just talking about that I was going to be a drama student. I love Vicky for the fact that she says how it is, and she just said to me, "Oh, the drama department is a really hard place to be a Christian." And I was like, but obviously we know Vicky says how it is, but she balances that with just so much love and grace and just friendship and help and encouragement that has been said. So she says how it is, but she's massively encouraging. And yeah, just a big thing that I want to say about Vicky is just that I'm grateful for her faithfulness, that she is a faith-filled person. And there are times when I have just been completely in awe and just bowled over by how much she has gone for stuff. I'm like, you're really gonna do that? Or you're gonna wait for God to give you that much money? Or, you know, you're gonna, all the things that she's done. You know, you want to see this place in Lincolnfield Green happen like this, and I'm just like, oh, that's great, Vicky, that's really good. But inside I'm thinking, wow, this lady's crazy. And you know, but she's seen things happen, and you've seen it happen, and you've just gone for it, and your faith in Him just inspires me. Even times when my faith isn't big, it does kind of inspire me and helps me to remember that we have a faithful God. And that you're one of these people that you work flipping hard, like you work hard, you persevere, even when it's tough, you don't give up on people, on projects, on things. So you put that work in, but also you're just completely full of grace, as it's been said already. You're full of grace and you're full of the Spirit, and so you're Spirit-filled and you're hungry, and you know, if the Spirit says, hey, we're going to flip it up and do this, and you go with it. But yet you see things through to the end, and I just think it's just so perfectly balanced in you. Like really, you're one of the people that I've seen. There aren't many people like that I've seen in my life that can just balance that Spirit-filled. Yeah, we're just going to go for it and we're going to put the work in, and I just love that about you. So thank you for having faith. Thank you for inspiring us with your faith. Thank you for having faith in us as a family, and you just briefly mentioned it, but yeah, there's lots of fruit here that you know that you can celebrate. There's so much unseen fruit to come, or fruit in Harlesden and different towns around the world that have come from you just loving God and getting on with it, and you're going to see in heaven that the fruit. And the Church of England, oh my word, they have no idea what's going. They're ready. Yeah, I love you.
Colin's going to lead us just in some prayers before we take communion. Before we hand back to Vicky, he's going to lead us through communion. So, Colin.
Yeah, good. Okay, good. Well, fantastic to be here this morning, and our hearts to cry too. For those of you that don't know, Vicky worked with me as my deputy for 2 or 3 years as we led River Church, the four churches together. And the day that she told me she was going to focus on the journey and lead that role, I wept because I'd come to rely on her, and thank God for her. Vicky, you're an amazing lady, and I've had nothing but respect for you from the day that we got to know each other. Particularly when I got back from Nepal and you helped keep me sane during that time. And so thank you for your faithfulness and your hard work and your passion. You're an incredible lady. And we want to send you out with just the blessing of God, the favour of God, because you carry our blessing and our favour from the bottom of our hearts. We know, and we've received that from you. The stories that have been shared today are the tip of the iceberg, but you've been a rock for many, and God has built on you, Vicky. You're, along with the apostles and prophets, God builds on people of stature that you can rely on and trust, and you're one such person that He builds around. And this next season, God's got great plans for you. We all know that. I'm convicted of it. Every time I pray, I see that mace being extended to you. It reminded me of the story of Esther, when that little girl was taken from a backwater to the palace. And her uncle says, you've got to go and approach the king. And she says, I don't know if I can, because if I do, I might die. That's the law. But she took that courage in her hands, and you are courageous. And she approached that to a place of authority. And she experienced the favour of God and saved her people. And I know that God is calling you to places of authority. I'll say it again publicly. God is calling you to places of authority, and He says, be courageous, because I am with you. And I'm going to extend that grace to you again that you've experienced again and again. It's going to be extended to you, because I have great plans for you to help transform a bigger community, a nation. So we send you out with that. But come up, if you stand here, because we want to send you out. We want to lay hands on her, don't we? This is our tradition in River Church. We like to lay hands on people. It's not a magical thing, but actually we know that we want to impart blessing on her. So if you want to impart blessing, your blessing on Vicky, please come up to the front. Lay a hand on her, and we'll all prophesy and pray over her in turn, as long as we feel led by the Spirit. Yeah, Jesus, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this amazing lady, for this friend, for this rock. Lord God, and today we do send her out from this place with our hearts full of gratitude for her. We send her out from this place with nothing but joy for having known her, and hope and expectation for what you are going to lead her into in this new season. So we say, bless Vicky, Lord Jesus. Pour out your Spirit upon her today. Thank you for this new exciting adventure. Thank you that we believe you are raising her up for a new day, a new adventure, for such a time as this, Lord God, that she may have great influence in this nation through the Anglican Church. So we say, bless her, Lord God, with every abundant blessing from heaven, in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. Who would like the microphone to say something?
And I keep thinking about that verse about shining like lights in the world. And Vicky, you do shine as a light in the world, but more than that, you help other people who you come into contact with to shine as well. And so, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, may your next adventure and your journey along with God, may you go back to that church meeting and may you rock their socks
Come
off.
on.
Yeah, really knock it out of them and show them the way.
Yeah.
I can see great things and you will change.
Come on.
You will change them. You're a good leader here and you're going to be a brilliant leader.
Yeah.
Well, it's church thing, you're going to rock it.
Come on.
Amen.
Amen.
Vicky, the verses are. I was just thinking about the verses where it talks about where you've been faithful with a few things, you'll be trusted with many, and this has been your training ground. Right? It's been the real thing, but it's also been a training ground for the next season of your life. And I just declare and prophesy just increase, where things have felt small scale, but going to grow it and give you kind of bigger influence and bigger impact into sort of bigger arenas, and it's all just people. It's all just dealing with people, and God's just been teaching you so much valuable stuff of how people are and what people are like, and how to deal with people, and how to follow Him and rely on Him, and everything that He's taught you is just going to be so valuable for the next season of your life. So bless you.
Amen.
Yeah, I just want to proclaim that the Holy Spirit is upon you, Vicky. He surrounds you, He's in you, and He's going to speak through you. And so we just ask for that anointing of the Holy Spirit right now, in Jesus' name. She will know your strength, Holy Spirit. She will know your love, your grace, your mercy flowing through her. That at every moment of this journey, she would know your words to speak. She would know your truth. She would know your power at work in her and through her.
Yeah.
And we pray that this would be a journey not just about Vicky being used by you, but about Vicky just running to your feet daily, every single day, and just becoming more and more in love with you, Jesus. We just pray for a wonderful strengthening of that relationship and that bond between Vicky and you, Jesus.
Come on.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jesus. Amen.
I was thinking about you this morning and three things, surprises, influence and heaven. First of all, I think is the journey that God's taken you to this point. I think it was quite surprising and unexpected. And I just feel like this next season He's just going to continue just to really surprise you. Just amazing, just blessings and gifts that are just really unexpected, and He's just going to blow you away with the way that He just provides for you abundantly in exciting ways. Second of all, I just feel like you're just going to have a great place of influence. And it kind of reminded me of one of the first prophetic words that's spoken over the journey were, what is sown here will be reaped in the nations.
Come on.
And I just sort of pray that over you, that
that's true.
is sown will be reaped in this nation
Yeah.
deeply, and that you have a great place of influence to speak into things at a high level, but also that it would just reap benefits and fruit throughout the world as well.
Yeah.
So
Amen.
God. And finally, we're just so behind you as a family. We're so cheering you on. We're so excited for you. And I also just really feel like heaven is just really cheering you on, and just so excited. Just all of heaven today is like, yes, go Vicky, woo, for this next season. So just be encouraged by that.
Thank you, Jesus.
I know in the Anglican Church they talk about the indelible mark of priesthood and of ministry. And I want to say to you, there's already an indelible mark on you. There has been for a long time, that you carry the grace and favour of God. You carry the Spirit with you wherever you go, and that what you've planted here, the seeds you've planted, you've sown, you've watered, they'll go on to be fruitful even as you move on to new places. I want to pray rest over you for this next period of time. Before you, as you sort of learn and grow and building capacity for the next thing, for the next adventure that takes you forward. Yeah.
Thank you, Lord.
So yeah, pray every blessing over you, Vicky.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Lord.
Amen. Please, if you've got more words or stuff you want to share with Vicky, please do come and pray for her after the meeting, and if you want to write them down in the book that's going to be coming around, then please do.